As soon as I joined the world, I decided to punch a tree. And after obtaining some pieces of wood, I crafted planks and then crafted a crafting table. And then, with the remaining sticks and crafting table, I made a wooden pickaxe. And after obtaining enough cobblestone, I decided to upgrade my pickaxe to a stone one. This would give me a higher efficiency. And after another journey of mining stone, I decided to upgrade the rest of my tools to stone ones. And after upgrading all my tools, I decided that I wanted to settle at a place. I was looking at something really cool and I got a best valley. And the most surprising thing was there was a village right beside it. And then I realized I had some blocks and then I decided to bridge across the valley. I slept for the night and decided to mine some hay bales as it would be a good source of food when I go mining. And after converting the hay bales into wheat, I struggled for literal hours to craft the bread, but finally I was able to get enough bread. I wanted to collect some iron and I decided to jump off the cliff. However, it was a really hard decision for me as I was risking almost every single thing. But when I was roaming around the river, I found some bit of iron that I collected. And then when I was swimming down the river, I was actually caught off guard. I realized that there was a drown with a trident and I was really close to dying. I was only 4 hearts. And then the next moment I realized I was just 1 heart away from giving up every single thing. I had to do anything to get out of this position. And luckily, after some moments of rest, I was able to get out of that. I was a bit surprised from this and then realized that it was so easy to kill me. And as a reason, I crafted a shield that would protect me from every single arm hit. I decided to go underground and get some more iron, and as soon as I got a few blocks down the level, I found a lot of iron. I decided to quickly smelt all the iron because I didn't want to take any risk. And after the iron got smelted, I decided to craft an iron pickaxe, a water bucket, and an iron sword. This proves to be the most important thing I did because I didn't really want to take any more risk. I took some time analyzing the geode because there were some important blocks that could help me in building my house, like the dripstone and the amethyst swords. There was a cave right adjacent to the geode. I spotted some iron and decided to collect all the iron in the cave. It took me some time because there was loads of iron in the cave. However, on my way, I was quickly interrupted by a white skeleton. It was a bit difficult to handle this, but I trusted my gods. I realized that I had enough iron. I quickly kept all of them for smelting and decided that I wanted to have complete iron armor before surfacing. And as the iron smelted, I quickly crafted a chest plate, leggings, and even some boots. And after some time, I also crafted the final armor piece, the iron helmet. I quickly surfaced up and started mining some wood for the house. But on my way, there was a lot of confusion and you could just see the pain I was suffering. And this is the perfect time to mention, chat, just subscribe. However, on the next day, I was ready for any problems. I started the day by simply clutching. I started the build by flattening the remaining areas. And as the area was way too small, I decided to expand it by mining the nearby mountain. And after some time, I had completed the basal portion of my base, and it was looking quite cool. However, I was really struggling with the structure of my house, and so I decided to make the first layer of my house, and I'll be knowing how this house would be actually looking. I detailed it by adding some stairs, and now I decided to upgrade it to 2nd level. I decided that I would make it more textured by adding some cobblestone, and that was the most perfect idea that I have ever gone. I wanted the base to look more medieval, so I added some spruce planks. It looked very good, and it gave the vibe of medieval era. That is how I also added the second and third layer with cobblestone. For the exterior of the home, I was a bit confused to use which of the following logs, but then I was confirmed that the spruce log would suit the best. I also placed the next pillar at a gap of 3 blocks from the previous pillar, and I did the same for the rest home, and now I had to do the upper section. I connected the pillars with logs, and that basically served as the mini roof. After building some pillars, I realized that I was out of wood and had to spend some time grinding some blocks. This took a bit of while, but after my return, I had almost a stack of wood. I quickly completed all the pillars and the upper regions of them. This took a bit of time, but the contrast making from the gray walls and the spruce dark walls, the pillars, really showed that my house was worth it. The exterior of the house was completed. Now it just needed some more detailing and finishing. I used trapdoors, stairs, and even stone brick stairs to add some details. I also added the oak trapdoors to make it more contrasting, and the hue was perfect. I decided to add some more trapdoors, and after that I wanted to do some detailing with oak fence. I was a bit confused at what I should use exactly, but then the most correct combination was in my mind. I used the cobblestone wall and the fence together to make it more good. It was looking very real. Then I decided to go to the riverside and collect some sand, and then quickly smelt it to get some glass blocks. And when I got some glass blocks, I decided to cover my windows with them. This was looking absolutely beautiful. And then I covered my second layer of roof by some geode blocks that were looking quite cool and were adding some contrast to the build. But when I was building my base, it got to a point that I was really irritated by this bat who was simply circling my house, and this felt to be very unlucky as it was looking that my base was at a haunted place. But for now, I had to forget him and not get distracted. The next step that I did was to mine out a large area around my base because it was getting way too clumsy. I reshaped the area completely, and then I realized that the grass layer below was not that complete. And so with the added dirt, I completely evened the place, as now it was looking no less than a heaven. Next up, I wanted to build the second floor of my house, and so I started filling the upper roof of my house and made a cute little staircase. This was looking very good, and now the second thing I had to do was to make a miniature roof. I started crafting the other half roof, and it was looking quite ugly at the first moment, but I tried my best to make it quite even, but I failed at the start. But at last, I could do it in the most depth way, most you way I could ever do. Now I had to just extend this roof to the end, and then it would look perfect. The second step was I had to add some contrast. Of course, my house was looking beautiful, except this amethyst shard I just placed randomly. But the next step I did was to add some wooden pillars, add a crafting table and some furnaces, and reposition my bed to proper place. I also had to make my second roof that was a bit longer than first. However, on the process, I found a creeper was chasing me, and I was in the worst spot. I thought I was dead at this moment, but somehow, to God's thanks, I had survived this. I don't know how, but my water bucket have just saved me. I continued to build the roof, but then I was quickly out of resources. And as a result, I went on a long expedition to get some more food, wood, and back on the work. My second floor was nearly clear, and so I decided to add a whole storage area filled with barrels and some chests if needed. But I had to check their placements. I had to place the chest in a way that I could equip every single barrel. I also added a differentiation level between the third and the second floor. Next up, I decided to craft a road that had unevenness and was totally not uniform. This added the beauty to the house, and it was now looking as a royal house. I decided that I wanted to build something unnecessary, and so I decided to craft a trash can. I placed the lava and made a system where I could not get into it. I also added some signboards, and for sake of some traders and wanderers, I decided to write up that this was a trash can. I started clearing out some area of nearby because I really wanted to have a place where I could simply chill. And so I decided to make a campsite and placed a campfire. I also made some stone planks, I mean some wood planks, and placed it near it so people can sit on it. I had some remaining amethyst blocks, so I decided that I also place that on the road. Along with that, for plantations, I also added the firefly bush and some sugar canes. This was the most dream base I could have ever built. I had the most cozy things that I could ever add, and the detailing was perfect. Next up, I wanted to have a view that would clearly have it all. And so I took a spyglass and went to a nearby place. However, I could not get a good look, so I decided to go far and climb a tree to get the perfect view.